The fourth USS Baltimore was a United States Navy cruiser, the fifth protected cruiser to be built by an American yard. Like the previous one, Charleston, the design was commissioned from the British Company of W.Armstrong, Mitchell, and Company of Newcastle. Baltimore was an all-around improvement on Charleston, somewhat larger with more guns, thicker armor, and better machinery. She was launched on the 6th of October 1888 by William Cramp & Sons Ship and Engine Building Company, in Philadelphia, sponsored by Mrs. Theodore D. Wilson, wife of Chief Constructor Theodore D. Wilson, and commissioned on the 7th of January 1890, with Captain W.S. Schley in command. Design and construction. Baltimore was built to plans purchased from Armstrong, a British manufacturer, which were similar to an unsuccessful Armstrong bid for the Spanish cruiser Reina Regente. Unlike the preceding Charleston, these plans included a modern triple expansion engine designed by Humphreys, Tennant and Amp Co. Baltimore's initial cost for hull and machinery was $1,546,172.13. Baltimore was armed with 4 8-inch, 35 caliber Mark Chapter 4 guns in sponsons on either side of the bow and stern, and 6 6-inch, 30 caliber Mark Chapter 3 guns in sponsons along the sides. Secondary armament was 4 6-pounder guns, 2 3-pounder Hotchkiss revolving cannon, 2 1-pounder Hotchkiss revolving cannon, and 2 45 caliber Gatling guns. 4 14-inch torpedo tubes were included in the design but never mounted. Baltimore had 4.5 in gun shields and a 3 in conning tower. The armored deck was up to 4 in on its sloped sides and 2.5 in elsewhere. The as-built engineering plant included 4 coal-fired cylindrical boilers producing steam for 2 horizontal triple expansion engines totaling 10,750 IHP for a design speed of 19 knots. Although 20 knots was achieved on trials, Baltimore was among the first U.S. Navy ships with the more powerful and efficient triple expansion engines. Unlike some contemporary designs, no sails were fitted. Baltimore carried 400 tons of coal for a range of 3,838 nma at 10 knots. This could be increased to 850 tons for 8,155 nmi. Refits. Baltimore was rebuilt 1900-03 with the armament replaced by 12 6-inch, 40 caliber Mark Chapter 7 guns, the 8-inch guns being removed. The secondary armament was replaced by 6 3-inch, 50 caliber guns. The boilers were replaced with 8 Babcock and Amp Wilcox boilers. In 1913-14 she was converted into a mine layer at the Charleston Navy Yard with 4 6-40 guns and a capacity of 180 mines. In an armament upgrade for World War I in 1917-18, her guns were replaced with 4 5-inch, 51 caliber guns and 2 3-inch, 50 caliber anti-aircraft guns. Service history. Pre-Spanish-American War, Baltimore became the flagship of the North Atlantic Squadron on 24 May 1890, and, from 15 to 23 August, conveyed the remains of the late Captain John Ericsson from New York City to Stockholm, Sweden. Captain Pilot Joseph Henderson, one of the oldest pilots in the service, piloted Baltimore to sea. After cruising in European and Mediterranean waters with the European squadron, she arrived at Valparaiso, Chile on 7 April 1891 to join the Pacific Squadron. She protected American citizens during during the Chile Revolution and landing men at Valparaiso on 28 August. Her activities in Chile around this time became known as the Baltimore Crisis. Arriving at the Mare Island Navy Yard on 5 January 1892, she cruised on the west coast of the U.S. until 7 October and then returned to the Atlantic. She took part in the Naval Rendezvous and Review in Hampton Roads during March and April 1893, prior to the World's Columbian Exposition. Proceeding via the Suez Canal, she cruised as flagship of the Asiatic Station from the 22nd of December 1893 to 3 December 1895, protecting American interests. Returning to Mare Island on 21 January 1896, she went out of commission on 17 February. Spanish-American War. Recommissioned on 12 October 1897, Baltimore sailed on 20 October for the Hawaiian Islands and remained there from 7 November 1897 to 25 March 1898. She then joined Commodore George Dewey's squadron at Hong Kong on the 22nd of April. The squadron sailed from Mirs Bay, China on the 27th of April for the Philippines, and on the morning of the 1st of May entered Manila Bay and destroyed the Spanish fleet stationed there. Baltimore was second in line behind Olympia. In the Battle of Manila Bay, Baltimore was commanded by future Rear Admiral Nehemiah Dyer, who had served with Farragut at Mobile Bay. Baltimore remained in the Philippines on the Asiatic Station as the Spanish-American War transitioned into the Philippine-American War, convoying transports and protecting American interests until the 23rd of May 1900, when she sailed for the United States via the Suez Canal, arriving at New York on 8 September. In one instance, just before the outbreak of the Philippine-American War, the Baltimore sailed for Iloilo City accompanying troops whose mission was to occupy the city before General Martin Delgado's forces, loosely part of Emilio Aguinaldo's Philippine Revolutionary Army, could do so. When the American forces arrived, General Delgado already occupied the city in the name of the federal state of the Visayas. After several weeks of a tense but peaceful standoff, American troops and ships, including the Baltimore, withdrew to Manila without landing on either Panay or Guimaras Islands. Pre-World War I. Between the 27th of September 1900 to 6 May 1903, Baltimore was out of commission at New York Navy Yard. For the 5th of August to 23rd of December, she served with the Caribbean Squadron, North Atlantic Fleet, taking part in summer maneuvers off the coast of Maine, in the Presidential Review at Oyster Bay, New York, and in Santo Domingo waters. From 28 May 26 August 1904, she was attached to the European Squadron and cruised in the Mediterranean. On the 26th of September, she sailed from Genoa, Italy, for the Asiatic Station and spent the next 2 years cruising in Asiatic, Philippine, and Australian waters. Baltimore returned to New York on the 24th of April 1907 and went out of commission at New York Navy Yard on the 15th of May. On the 20th of January 1911, she was placed in commission in reserve and served as a receiving ship at Charleston Navy Yard. From 1913–1914, she was converted to a mine layer at the Charleston Navy Yard and recommissioned on 8 March 1915. From 1915 to 1918, she carried out mining experiments and operations in Chesapeake Bay and along the Atlantic coast. World War I. At the time of the American entry into World War I, Baltimore was training personnel. Early in March 1918, she was detailed to assist in laying a deep minefield off the north coast of Ireland in the North Channel. She arrived at the Clyde on the 8th of March, and, for the 13th of April the 2nd of May, laid approximately 900 mines in the North Channel. On the 2nd of June, she joined Mine Squadron 1 at Inverness, Scotland, and for 4 months participated in laying the North Sea Mine Barrage between the Orkney Islands and Norway by laying a total of 1,260 mines, planting 180 mines during the first mine-laying excursion on the 7th of June. Planting 180 mines during the third mine-laying excursion on the 14th of July, planting 180 mines during the fourth mine-laying excursion on the 29th of July, planting 180 mines during the fifth mine-laying excursion on the 8th of August, planting 180 mines during the sixth mine-laying excursion on the 18th of August, planting 180 mines during the 7th mine-laying excursion on the 26th of August and planting 180 mines during the 9th mine-laying excursion on the 20th of September. On the 28th of September, Baltimore sailed from Scapa Flow, Orkney Islands back to the U.S. She carried out mining experiments in the vicinity of the Virgin Islands until the end of the year. Interwar period. In September 1919, she joined the Pacific Fleet, received the designation CM-1, and remained on the West Coast until January 1921. She then proceeded to Pearl Harbor, where she was subsequently placed out of commission on the 15th of September 1922. She then served as a receiving ship at Pearl Harbor, and was present during the Japanese attack there on the 7th of December 1941. She was sold for scrapping on the 16th of February 1942, but one source states she was eventually towed out to sea and scuttled on the 22nd of September 1944. Bibliography. Bauer, K. Jack, Roberts, Stephen S. Register of Ships of the U.S. Navy, 1775–1990, Major Combatants. Westport, P. Connecticut, Greenwood Press, ISBN 0-313-262020. Belknap, Reginald Rowan. The Yankee Mining Squadron, or Laying the North Sea Mining Barrage, Annapolis, United States Naval Institute. Burt Lawrence. U.S. Cruisers 1883–1904, The Birth of the Steel Navy, Oxford, Osprey, 2008. ISBN 1-84603-267-9, OCLC 488657946. Friedman, Norman. U.S. Cruises, An Illustrated Design History. Annapolis, Maryland, United States Naval Institute. ISBN 0870217186. Gardner, Robert. Chesno, Roger. Conway's All the World's Fighting Ships, 1860–1905. New York, Mayflower Books. ISBN 0831703024. Lynn, Brian McAllister. The Philippine War, 1899–1902. Lawrence, Kansas, University Press of Kansas. ISBN 0-7006-12254. Taylor, Michael J. H. Jane's Fighting Ships of World War I. Studio. ISBN 1-85170-3780. The White Squadron. Toledo, Ohio. Woolson Spiceco.